In this video, I'm going to take you through the first page, 1 through 5, on the 1-2D lesson, which is called Examining Real-World Context Without Solutions. This basically is looking at word problems. In some of the situations, we will have a solution, and some we won't. And we're going to justify why we don't have a solution if that's the case. Number 1 says, not every problem, word problem, has a solution. For example, can you find 4 consecutive integers whose sum is 224? And so we're just going to set this up to justify why, because when we take the test, we won't necessarily know if it is or is not going to be no solution. So there would be our setup. And I'm not going to write out our let statements in this case, but our let would be that x is the first even integer, x plus 2 is the second, x plus 4 is the third, and x plus 6 is the fourth. When we combine like terms, we get 4x plus 12 equals 224. We solve. It's 212 multiplied by a quarter, and we end up getting that x equals 53. And so we find that the first, what was supposed to be an even integer, is not an even integer. And so let's explain that if you set up the equation and solve, you get x equals 53. Which is an odd number, not an even number. So number 2 says, when might a word problem involving coins have no solution? So in solving a coin word problem, we would be then looking at any coin problem that comes out as a fraction or a decimal or a negative, unless you're talking about maybe owing some coins. So when you solve for the number of coins, you get a non-whole number answer. That would be fraction, decimal, or negative. Number 3 says, when might a word problem involving perimeter have no solution? We actually, I think, talked about this at some point. We said that we could have fraction in decimal for side length, but we can't have negative side length. That would be like an imploding rectangle. So when you solve for length or width, you get a negative number. Look at 2 more. We'll actually solve 2 word problems. So we're going to do all the setup. We're going to solve. And then we're going to write our answer in a complete sentence. And if we notice that it is a no solution problem, then we will explain what's going on with that particular problem. And then next class, we will look at the problems after this page. So we're just going to do 4 and 5. Number 4 says the width and length of a rectangle are consecutive multiples of 5. If the perimeter of a rectangle is 125 meters, what is the width and the length, or the length and the width of the rectangle? So we're going to have the width be W, and that would make the length. The width is usually the smaller value, and multiples of 5 are 5, 10, 15, 20. So if this is the first multiple of 5, the next one would be 5 more. And so our equation would be 2 times W plus 2 times W plus 5 equals 125. I think this comes out to be 28.75. And so at this point we will stop, we'll write no solution, and we'll say that W equals 28.75 is not a multiple of 5. And that's why we're choosing no solution. There would be two side lengths that would work, or for all four sides, but for the length and the width, and would add up to 125, but they're not going to be multiples of 5. Let's look at number 5. In a triangle, the first angle is 20 degrees more than the measure of the second. The third angle is 3 times the measure of the second angle. Find the measures of each angle. We'll have the first angle, second angle, third angle. So the first one is 20 degrees more than the second one, so we'll try by calling the second one maybe x, and the third is 3 times the measure of the second. So the angles in a triangle add up to 180. We'll add up all the angles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5x plus 20 equals 180. And we'll plug it back in. So this is 32. This would be 3 times 32, which would be 96. And this would be 32 plus 20, which is 52. So therefore, in the triangle, measure of angle 1 is 52 degrees. The measure of angle 2 is 32 degrees. And the measure of angle 3 is 96 degrees. Next class we will finish this lesson. So just a preview of this lesson, but we definitely have to be confident in our word problem skills to make sure that we know, like in number 5, that there will be a solution, or in number 4 that there will not be a solution.